Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about which houseplants are pet safe. Now this is something that I don't think we actually talk about enough in the houseplant communities, because if you go to a houseplant nursery, garden centre or specialist houseplant store, there's very little information on whether the plants are dangerous for pets or even small children. Now, there aren't many out there that are really dangerous, very few really, but if you've got a pet, a cat who likes to chew on like grass type of plants, or a dog that is just so crazy he will chew and eat anything he can get his hands on. Hands? Not really. Paws on. Then you need to know this stuff, because it might really give them some stomach upsets and in some cases be really bad for them. So in this video I want to talk about three houseplants thus around me that are pet safe and what you can do to avoid getting into any problems. So without further ado, shall we get started? Here on my left is a less than fabulous Boston Fern that I have sadly neglected a little over the winter. I've just been giving it a bit of a haircut in another video. It's not the best example, but this is a Boston Fern, and I do love these plants. They're so tactile. I love the texture of the leaves, and when you water them and give them enough light, I think they look amazing. And this one is worth remembering through my mistakes. I'll just rotate this. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but it's leaning very much to one side. It's sort of clamoring for the light over that direction. So occasionally rotate your plants, and if it is moving over there, sort of put that side to your light source so it will come back over. It's natural for your plants to move around a bit, because quite often there is only one light source. It might be near a window or something, unless you're lucky enough to have skylights with light coming in from the roof, which is great because all the plants will grow up. Otherwise, you have to bear this in mind and just rotate the plant occasionally. Even just a quarter turn once a week is enough to keep everything balanced. But that's beside the point. The Boston Fern is a very good plant for pet safe situations. If you've got a cat that will like to chew on the end of the what am I doing? If they like to chew on it, it's going to be fine. I've just spotted another dry end. Sorry, let me just do that whilst I see it. Yeah, if you do have a Boston Fern and it's gone a bit dry, then you can just snip off the dry fronds and it will stimulate more new growth to come back and replace it. This is a good one, easy to care for. Give it a reasonable amount of water, sunlight, no direct sunlight, it won't like that. A little bit further away from the window if you can. A good amount of water, maybe slightly more than normal. Good organic mix of compost in there, maybe some bark chippings, and it will be very happy. Just keep an eye on that water. Don't put it in a terracotta or anything that's going to be porous and draw the water away from it, because it will prefer slightly more than less. So you'll always be fighting the dryness if you have it in a terracotta pot. So something to bear in mind. It's a great plant. So it's a lovely looking thing, and well cared for will reward you with years of service. Now over my shoulder is another very easy to care for plant. Let's bring it in. This is another one that's been in the back and has slightly moved around in the light. I've got too many houseplants, let's be honest. I enjoy them so much, I keep buying them, and I've got so little room for them. Some of them get ignored occasionally, but this is a good one to ignore. Nicknamed the cast iron plant, it is virtually unkillable. If you lob some water in occasionally, any type of light, any type of temperature, this guy's just going to keep going. I love it. I was given this plant as something like 2 leaves, and it's put on a load of leaves, and they can really get quite big. The leaves can get sort of 2 or 3 foot long and wide, and you can put it in a big floor standing pot and it's going to look amazing. And what I really enjoy in the houseplant hobby is growing something from a very small plant into a very big plant. Now, if you just want houseplants to look nice, then you can buy big plants. They cost quite a bit of money, but you can buy big plants, put them where you want them, and get instant effect. Great. No judgment at all. It's all about enjoying the hobby however you want to enjoy it. But I get a lot of satisfaction. How's that looking? It's not too bad. I get a lot of satisfaction about maybe people give me sick and dying houseplants for some reason. I get a lot of those given to me through various different channels. And so yeah, this one came through as a retail sort of side. It was only a few leaves, and usually these sort of things are going to be skipped, and some people give them to me very kindly. And so yes, this is, I don't know, 3 maybe 4 years in my company. I've enjoyed it. I like it. I like the fact that it will just keep going, even if you ignore it a bit, which I have done, to be honest. It usually sits at the back and gets not very much attention. It probably needs another repot. There's a good 2 or 3 inches of lacking of soil in there, so it could maybe go for another slightly bigger pot, and some fresh compost won't hurt it a bit. So maybe this spring we'll do that, and we'll do a video on a little bit more detail on these. But again, inert, easy to care for. If your cat is going to chew this, it's going to be absolutely fine, and the plant's going to be fine as well. If it looks too raggedy and he's chewed half the leaf, just cut it off at the base and it will shoot another one up. It's going to be absolutely fine. I'll give you a close-up in case you haven't seen that. It's hard to tell in the camera lens, but I like it. I like the leaves, and they often just get that nice twist on the go as well, which can look really nice as the light hits it. Some people overlook them, but just because there's no variegation and no amazing flowers sticking up, I still think some of these plants can be very, very satisfying. And you know, you could have this plant your entire life, and that's something special about having a living plant with you your whole life. There are numerous stories of people having these plants passed down from grandparents and so on and so forth, and could be 3 generations old. The Victorians were a big fan of these plants. It almost showed some form of status, because they'd only just started introducing them from other areas of the world, and to actually own a plant from another area of the world was a status symbol. So these plants were very much something that the Victorians would pose with when they were having photos outside of their house. They'd bring their plant out with them as well, to show that this is our status, this is how wealthy we are, that we have our own Aspidistra. Did I say it was an Aspidistra? I should have done. It's called an Aspidistra, by the way. Sorry, I don't know where my head is at today. This is called an Aspidistra, or a cast iron plant. It's a very easy plant to look after. If you're new and you're looking for a reliable plant that is pet safe, great plant. Are a little spendy though, maybe because they're so slow growing. If you do buy one, sometimes they can be sort of £30. I don't know what that is, $40, somewhere in that area. So as far as houseplants go, for everyday houseplants, pretty expensive when you can buy a lot of plants for, you know, £4, £5, $6 or $7. So it's up there in terms of everyday houseplants. Obviously nowhere near the rare houseplant scale, but this isn't rare at all. So there we go, that's your Aspidistra, that's your number 2. And number 3 is, can you see it hanging behind me, a lovely hanging plant. You can't go wrong with a spider plant. The ubiquitous plant of any grandmother's bedroom or living room. They've been around forever and a day, and they still look good. This one here hangs in my kitchen, and I regularly forget to water it, considering it's in the kitchen where there are taps and water, literally on tap. I still forget to water it. It's not fussed. Give it some water when you remember, and it will perk straight back up. Can I get to it? Okay, that'll do. Getting poked in the head. The spider plant. It's not the most trendy of plants, shall we say, but I still like it. I still think it looks nice. I love the lime green, and when you actually water it occasionally and look after it, it can look amazing. It sends out little offsets of baby spider plants, so you can make loads of new ones for your friends and family if that's what you would like to do as gifts. I think it's just a nice thing, and because they do so well in a hanging environment, you can put them in nice hanging baskets such as this one, and I just like them. You know, they're getting houseplants hanging and creating a different space, so they're not all at ground level or not all on surfaces. It's just brings them up to a different height, and you can appreciate them from a different angle, because this is actually very much more interesting than that. You know, it just looks better. So do not discount the humble spider plant. Very easy to care for, very forgiving. You can forget to water it and it will sit there sulking until you remember, and then it will be fine. Don't worry, it will get these dry ends. It's perfectly normal. You would be very lucky if you didn't get the odd dry end, even if you're watering it perfectly. But I don't think it detracts from it. If it bothers you, you can just snip them off. Very easy care for, 100% plant safe. Another great one for beginners and even experienced houseplant owners. I think a lot of people, when they get into the hobby, they go straight for the rare plants and the difficult plants and the calathea and some of the really tricky plants to care for. Right, that's your thing. But don't forget, there's an awful lot of easy and nice houseplants to enjoy as part of the hobby as well. I'm going to hang this up if I can. That is my pick for my top 3 pet safe houseplants. Grab them. I would say grab them. If you've got pets, just check it out first. Just get into the habit. If you're looking at a houseplant in the nursery, just pull out your phone and type in YouTube or in Google, is Calathea albifolia pet safe? Whatever you're looking at, check it online and see what information is out there, because often it is only a matter of getting a stomach upset or something like that, but maybe it might be more serious when it comes to small animals and cats and maybe dogs. You know, it could be vomiting, it could be more serious. So just double check it. It's worth always bearing in mind if you've got the type of pet that is interested in your plants. If they don't take any notice, then great. Don't forget, you can always keep them higher up on higher surfaces, keep them hanging like that out of the way if you do have non-pet safe plants. You can still enjoy them, but just bear in mind where you're going to keep them. Make sure they're well out of reach, and then generally you'll be fine. Just the case of bearing it in mind. And what I'll try and do when I do reviews of the plants that I get in for review, I'll try and make a note of the pet safe situation on each of them, where they are or not, because I think that's a helpful data point for anyone watching. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful and useful. Give it a thumbs up if you have. I would very much appreciate that, and subscribe for more houseplant related videos coming along very soon. Bye for now.